Hello, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. So Eddie Jones is returning to international rugby. Didn't see this coming, I'll be honest with you. Woke up to the news this morning here in the UK. Dave Rennie has been sacked. Eddie Jones is going to replace him on a 5-year deal. Loads to get into with this. That's what I'm going to talk about, give some reaction in this video. If you are new here, do subscribe to the channel and also drop a comment down below. Give me your thoughts on this. I've already had a quick look on social media, which is only a small barometer for the reaction to something like this. But a lot of Wallabies fans don't seem too happy with it, despite the caliber of coach that Eddie Jones still undoubtedly is. So do drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this appointment. All right, let's get into it. So first of all, looking at Dave Rennie and him being sacked from his position, I think his win percentage as Australia coach was 38%, something like that. It really wasn't very good at all. So if you look at it purely in isolation with that statistic, then you think there's probably not too much of a surprise that he's been sacked. You can't argue with that. But then on the flip side of that, look at the context, particularly of the last year of this Wallabies team. Huge injury list, had so much turnover of players, number of players given debuts that seem to be coming into the squad. He seemed to have been building more of a squad heading into a World Cup year. And also, they beat South Africa. They lost, I think, by a point to New Zealand in a game. Admittedly, they should have won, but they came very, very close to beating them. They've lost narrowly, again, with a depleted squad, away from home to Ireland and to France. There's some really good results in there. And they've also lost to Italy. You've got to acknowledge that as well. So it wasn't all good stuff. And that kind of goes back to the 38% again. But then they finished the year with that brilliant comeback win away to Wales. So I don't necessarily think that 38% win percentage tells the whole story for Dave Rennie. Now, as I say, undoubtedly 38%, you're always on dodgy ground. But I just wondered whether there was enough there with the players that have been brought into the squad, with the amount of injuries they'd had to deal with, and the context of some of those results, despite some of them being defeats, that there was enough there for Dave Rennie to continue. But the Wallabies have obviously looked at it. They've seen that Eddie Jones is available after being sacked by England, and they wanted to go and get their man. And Eddie Jones, despite the controversial figure that he is, despite how he's a bit Marmite, splits opinion, is still, I think, a very, very good rugby coach. And also, he's very, very good at coming in and having an immediate impact. We saw that with the job that he did with England in 2016. And can he do that again with the Wallabies heading into a World Cup year? I think that is going to be absolutely fascinating to see. But as I said previously in the intro, have had a quick look on social media, and it doesn't seem like Wallabies fans are too happy about this appointment, which is going to be very, very interesting. I think we expect it to probably be Jones's last big international job. You never know, but I know he has said previously that he felt like he had one more big job in him. It's kind of completing the circle, if you like. He was previously the head coach with the Wallabies, took them to the World Cup final in 2003, lost to England, and then eventually was sacked in 2005. I think there's maybe a small element of unfinished business there. But look, despite Eddie Jones, I think, still being a good coach, it's a tough job with the Wallabies. Because as I say, they have lost a lot of games. He's not taking over a winning squad. So what's he going to do with that squad, I think, will be absolutely fascinating. And then, of course, the other element of all of this is you look at the pool stages for the Rugby World Cup, you look at how that could develop, and it's very possible that England and Australia meet in a quarter-final, which, from a media standpoint, is what people will be hoping to see now. You look at that as a storyline. Eddie Jones coming up against England, who are under Steve Borthwick. I know he'll play it down as it not being an element of revenge and everything like that, but there would be a part of that. So I'll be honest, there's part of me that kind of hopes to see that. I kind of hope to see that happen, but look, we'll wait and see. Also, I think the timing of this is very, very kind of funny, really. I'm sure it wasn't deliberate, but the Wallabies announcing this, well, their Monday morning, Sunday evening in the UK, when now Monday in the UK, Steve Borthwick has a press conference at Twickenham later this morning to announce his England squad for the Six Nations. And all of a sudden there are going to be quite a few questions, I would imagine, about Eddie Jones, his predecessor being appointed Wallabies head coach. So it's a bit of a thorn in the side of the England media team, I would imagine, the timing of this announcement. But look, that is what it is. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting appointment. I do understand some frustrations towards getting rid of Dave Rennie, which kind of fall on deaf ears, I guess, when you look at that win percentage and you look at the amount of games that they have lost. But it's still quite interesting that there will be those fans that feel they should have kept hold of him. But let me know what camp you are in the comments down below. A little bit of a shorter video, this one. Literally was a case of waking up, seeing the news, and then just trying to get a video to react to it. Really, really interesting appointment. Exciting appointment, I think, in many ways for Australian rugby. Jones is also taking charge of the women's team, so it's quite an overarching role that he's taking on. And let's see how it goes. Eddie Jones returning to Australia, an appointment that probably makes sense for him in terms of getting back home more often to see family. That was something I know that he's mentioned previously, that he struggled to do that because the role of being the England head coach was just so all-consuming. So it makes sense for a lot of reasons for Eddie Jones. There are definite pluses for Australia, but what about getting rid of Dave Rennie and whether the fans are too happy with that? You don't make appointments purely on what the fans want, but I do think it is kind of revealing in a way that there's been a little bit of a backlash to his appointment. But anyway, as I say, let me know what you think down below. Do subscribe here if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.